Hello beautiful souls and welcome back. Today's Pick a Card Tarot and Oracle reading is all about your key to success. This reading is in collaboration with the wonderful GiftedSoul here on YouTube. I have collaborated with her before and I am so excited to be able to do this again. I will have the link to her video down in the description box, as well as the top pinned comment, which is also where you'll be able to find the timestamps for this reading. So what is this reading about? This reading is about your key to success. And now we all define success differently. For some of us, it is about wealth, or finances, or business endeavors, or about your career. For other people, success is determined by their relationships, perhaps their family endeavors, having children, that kind of a thing. For other people, success revolves more around their physical body and their appearance and their health. However you define success, I hope that this reading will allow you to move past any blockages that you are feeling and be able to reach success, however you define it. So in front of you, we have 3 piles. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3. There is quite the combination of tarot and oracle cards here, and I want you to use your intuition as to which pile is calling to you. Now this is a general reading, so I do want to give the disclaimer that not all messages will resonate with everyone. And also, if you are feeling like you're drawn to more than one pile, it may mean that your message is spread out through multiple piles, okay? So however you choose to approach this reading, there is no right or wrong. I do ask that you listen to your specific reading all the way through. Quite often, you might only listen to the first little bit of a reading and then you don't get the whole message. So if you want the whole message, make sure you are listening to your section beginning to end, okay? I appreciate you for watching this video, and let's get started with pile 1. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 1 for this Key to Success Tarot and Oracle Pick a Card. Oh, you guys have a lot of tarot cards. Let's just get started. So we have the 5 of Cups, the 6 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, the 10 of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Tower, the King of Wands, and the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, first of all, I'm feeling like you guys, whatever you describe success as, you're feeling like you're not reaching it. You're feeling like reaching for this, or the task of trying to complete, kind of like your goals along the way, are becoming more of a burden than they are a benefit. And I feel like a lot of this is a mindset thing. It's not that what you're doing isn't actually working. It's more just your belief in your capabilities, your belief in the reasons why you're doing it. So we have the 10 of Wands here, and this card is about feeling like it's a burden. He's chosen to carry all 10 wands and take them to the village all at one time. It's very heavy, it's very cumbersome, it's very awkward, yet he's chosen to do all of it at the same time, and he's complaining the entire way. But what he could have done is, say, taken 5 in the first trip, 5 in the second trip, or, even one at a time. Spread it out. Do it a little differently. He could have also asked for help. So this card is a warning that it's not about doing it all at once. It's not about overexerting yourself. It's not about, pushing yourself beyond your limits. It's about listening to your body, listening to your mental health, and doing what you can do in the moment. And it's also about asking for help if you need it. So if you were wanting, to say learn something more for your journey, it might be about seeking out a mentor or a teacher. It might be a coach. It might be even just asking your friends for help or for their opinion on something. Say you're writing something. It could just be asking your friends for opinion on what you've written, and their feedback might be able to allow you to push through what has been blocking you. With this 5 of Cups here, you see he's got 3 cups that have spilt over, and he's really focusing on those 3 cups. Yet there's 2 behind him that are upright, standing, full of who knows what, waiting for him. But he's so focused on what has spilled that he's not realizing the opportunities behind him. Again, that very much speaks with this 10 of Wands, because if you're so focused on getting this done as quickly as possible, you might miss something. He clearly cannot see past all of these wands that he's carrying, which is very reminiscent of this person here kind of mourning over this spilled cup and not being able to see what's ahead of them. Both of these cards also really speak with this Tower card. It's like something is crumbling down, but you don't actually see the full picture. You're just focused on what is falling apart. Okay? With the 8 of Pentacles here, this card is about repetition and mastery in a way. So he has created the 8 Pentacles, and they might not all be pretty. They might not all be perfect. They might, in fact, be downright ugly or wrong, or, there's so many things that could go wrong with his carving, with his chiseling here. But he's going to keep practicing and keep practicing and keep practicing. The difference between this and, say, the 10 of Wands or the 5 of Cups here and the Tower is that he doesn't care if something is done incorrectly. Sees it as a learning opportunity. You can see your mistakes, and then you can learn from your mistakes, and you can move forward. It's not about beating yourself up for trying to do it all in one go, but instead it is about realizing that that is what you were trying to do, and giving yourself grace and moving forward in a way that will be beneficial for you and beneficial for your circumstances. Okay? It's about seeing your strength. And with this Ace of Wands, it's about seeing opportunities and seeing where your passion is bringing you. Okay? The 6 of Pentacles here, this card is also making me really think of balancing your life and making sure that there is an equal dynamic of give and take, especially with, again, with this 10 of Wands. This 10 of Wands is really calling to me, despite the fact it wasn't the first card or anything. I feel like this is very important for a lot of you, and this is kind of something that a lot of you will be overlooking. Okay? But it's about this balance of give and take. If you're feeling burdened, it might be because you are constantly giving and giving and giving, and you're not allowing yourself to receive. And if you are, say, in the manifestation community or the law of attraction community, you may know how important it is to allow yourself to be able to receive. You can put all of these intentions out to the universe, but if you don't allow yourself to receive and you're not grateful for what you receive, then it's really hard to see opportunities. It's really hard to see the momentum that you're creating, because you're just constantly thinking, I need to do more and more and more and more, and constantly kind of in a negative mindset, and not, again, it's focusing on these 3 spilled cups as opposed to seeing the opportunities behind you. Okay? And with this 10 of Cups here, this is about ample opportunity. So I do feel like there is ample opportunity for you, but it's this mindset shift that needs to go on for you to be able to reach the success that you desire. Okay? Let's add some oracle cards to complete this story. So we have Spirit, which is initiation. We have staff, which is stability, and we have candles, which is magic. Okay, so it's interesting that we have the staff and the stability card. The imagery on this is so similar to this Ace of Wands, okay? And this is new opportunities being presented to you that go along with your passions. This is listening to the internal inspiration that you have to go forward and trusting yourself, okay? The initiation. Initiations is an interesting word because I often think of initiations like in terms of, say, like a fraternity, or when you're joining something new. It's almost like, you know, they initiate you by doing something negative sometimes, you know. I mean, that's not always the case. I can't speak for everyone. But, you know, it's kind of like a hazing. And it's almost like you're going through... Oh, there's a bug. Gross. It's almost like you're going through this kind of hazing initiation where you're feeling like, is this worth it? Is it, you know, worth going through all of this? It's testing you, testing your commitment, testing your patience. And once you get to the other side of this and you can see, you know, when you can see that village beyond the burden of those wands, I feel like things are going to start opening up. And sometimes that means removing the burden, removing what is holding you back, what is, you know, kind of like right in front of your face. You probably see it and you're probably like, oh, I know I shouldn't be doing this. You know, it's kind of like procrastination or, you know, a negative habit. It's that kind of a thing just holding you back. And it's time to move past that. It's time to own up to where you are in life on this journey and accept that's where you are. Accept that as a starting point, an initiation onto this journey, and then move forward from it, okay? With the candles, again, magic, this is very much in line with what I was saying earlier about manifestation and being able to give and receive. Magic is about utilizing the energies around us, whether they are your own energies or whether they are the energies of the universe, and being able to control and manipulate that in a way that you see fit. But when you put energy out, you have to be willing to receive energy back, right? So it's this give and take. You need to be willing to accept the consequences for, say, your actions when you've been focused on, or when you've been too focused on doing something and you're getting overrun, overburdened, exhausted. You may burn out, and that's going to be a consequence that you're going to have to deal with. And it's not that that's a negative thing. That's your body, that's your mind saying, like, stop. It's time to rethink this. So then when you go into it next time, how can you improve? How can you get better? Okay? So we have conclusions are within reach, which is a full moon eclipse. And then be bold and make the first move. With the initiation card and being bold and making the first move, it's like you don't have to wait for someone else to initiate you into this group, this environment, this energy, right? No matter what your version of success is, it's almost like picture yourself already there. It's the concept of living in the end. You don't have to wait for someone else to give you the opportunity. You can take charge and be your own opportunity. Yeah, we have the card of dreams, which is, you know, it's taking control of your own dreams. Protection. For the protection card, again, I feel that's very much an emotional and a physical protection. Not so much physical in the ways of, like, you know, you need to learn self-defense or you need to carry a gun or something like that. It's not that kind of protection. It is protecting yourself ultimately from yourself. It's protecting yourself from when you feel like you're getting overwhelmed and burdened and exhausted. It's allowing yourself to take the time and step back and be like, I'm not doing this anymore. I need to take a break and we need to move forward, okay? Or move forward in a way that is beneficial and not harmful, okay? So that's what I'm feeling with this protection. And again, the dreams, it's about going after your dreams and taking charge and knowing that you are capable of reaching whatever level of success you desire, okay? So we have the kiwi. Do a walking meditation each day for the next week. That's very interesting because that, I think, is a very good way to calm the body, calm the mind. It might be get yourself out of this mentality, and just get out into the world and allow yourself to exist beyond what is troubling you, beyond what is bugging you, and just get out and be mindful of the environment that you're walking in, whether you can walk outdoors and then, be mindful of the way that the wind feels against your skin, be mindful of the smells in the air, the noises, like say the wind rustling the leaves. Be aware and kind of use that walk as a meditation, as a way to just decompress. Okay. I pulled out one of these Money and the Law of Attraction cards because for a lot of people, success will be defined by money. Now, if this is not how you define success and this card isn't applicable to you, that's perfectly okay. But I'm going to read what this says. So it says, shortages of time or money are perceptual. If you are feeling a shortage of time or money, your best effort would be to focus on better feeling thoughts and do more things that make you feel good. Your time is a perceptual thing, and even though the clock is ticking the same for everyone, your alignment affects your perception, as well as the results you allow. As you observe the enormous differences in the effort that people apply and the results they achieve, you have to conclude there is more to the equation of achieving than action alone. Okay, so that's not even about money. That is about your perception here. Like this card is saying, it's not about, what is it? It's not about exchanging your time for money or your effort. It's the, it's the saying, work smart, not hard, right? This is you working hard. This is you busting your ass every day, doing so much to the point that you burn yourself out and you can't go forward anymore. But can you get the same results by doing less effort? If you get a good night's sleep, you find that you're so much more productive the next day. Whereas if you stay up till 2 a.m. and then get up at 6 and then you're crabby, you don't get as much accomplished, even though you've worked twice as long, right? So it's about that perception of your time and your value and what you are willing to put into it, okay? So we have the card of passion. That's not the first time I've mentioned passion today. We have Gaia, which is nurturing, right? So this is about nurturing your own passions, nurturing your strength, nurturing yourself, taking time for yourself. This might also be, especially in combination with this kiwi here, this might be about taking time away from what you're trying to build and just focusing on you. What are your hobbies? What are your interests? Do you like to, do you like to read? Do you like to do a craft sometimes? Do you like to play video games? What is your passion outside of success? And how can you allow yourself to nurture your body, nurture your mind and your spirit by allowing yourself to do the things you enjoy, okay? And then your last card is Leveria, let love grow. And I think that's a perfect way to end this reading. I think that sums up what I was literally just telling you. By allowing yourself to step back from what you're trying to create, from what you're trying to succeed in, and allow yourself to exist in a world where your time and your effort is perceived as valuable. And trusting yourself, trusting your dreams, trusting your capabilities, and, being like, it's okay, I can stop, I can take a break, I can do some other things, really allow self-love for yourself by allowing time for your passions and your other interests, and nurturing the bond with yourself and not just what it is that you were trying to create in terms of success. Okay? Let love grow and see. It's really about living in the end for you guys. What is your time? What is your energy worth in the end when you've reached the level of success that you want? How valuable is your time then? How valuable is your expertise then? Treat yourself as if you are that valuable, because you are. You just haven't met up with that reality yet, okay? I hope you enjoyed this Key to Success Tarot and Oracle Pick a Card. Again, this is a collaboration with the wonderful Gifted Soul, so don't forget to head on over to her channel and check out her corresponding reading. You don't have to pick the same pile over at hers. You might be called to something different. I would love to see, or I'd love to hear your experience about how my reading and her reading line up and what kind of messages might overlap for you. So let me know down in the comments below. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 2. Okay, let's get started with your tarot cards for this Key to Success Pick a Card reading. So we have the Devil, the 8 of Cups, the 7 of Wands, the Empress, the Emperor. Let's put them together. Actually, let's do this. Put the minors up there. So you got 4 majors. So the 8 of Cups, the 7 of Wands, the Devil, the Emperor, the Empress, and the Chariot. First of all, I think right off the bat with your tarot cards alone, not even going into your oracle yet, for you, your key to success is balancing your masculine and your feminine energy. Plain and simple. Now, this doesn't mean masculine as in male, feminine as in female. We are all a balance of masculine and feminine. It's the balance of the yin and the yang, and the dark and the light. And, I mean, your major arcana totally show that. So we've got, again, the balance, masculine, feminine, male, female here. We've got the Chariot, which is the balance with the black and the white. The Chariot is often depicted as these 2 sphinxes wanting to go in opposite directions, and the driver of the chariot being able to control them and direct them the way they want to go. Here we have the Devil, someone controlling the polar opposites of the male and the female within the image. So it's interesting here because not only do we have masculine feminine divide, we've got the color divide, we also have the difference of controlling versus being controlled. Okay, so a lot of energy balance dynamic going on, and I'm feeling like a lot of you who picked this pile are just kind of all over the place and maybe don't even really understand yourself, let alone where you want to go in the future. Okay, with the 8 of Cups here, we have these 8 of Cups in the foreground, but the person in the card is going that way. They're going off into the mountains. They're leaving this behind for whatever reason, whether this is they feel this isn't good enough, whether they feel there's more opportunities over there, or perhaps they're completely missed the fact that this opportunity is even available to them. With the 7 of Wands, this is fighting for something, but 7s are a very spiritual number. So this isn't a physical battle. This is spiritual. This is mental. This is within. Okay? It could be a dynamic between you and your higher self even. So we have the card of fire, which is passion, and Imbolc, which is awakening. Interesting, okay, because we have, again, it's this energy dynamic. We have the fire, which is actually a very destructive force, but then we have the awakening with all these spring flowers coming into bloom. And we have the fire represented here as well in the Devil card. So it's almost like you're being led by passion, by your heart, but maybe you haven't really thought through why you're doing it or how you're going to do it. You might be very passion driven, very passion focused, very results focused. This could also be indicating a desire to please others around you and being, what's the word I'm looking for? Being motivated by external forces, because again, with the combination between the fire card and the devil card, it's like you're being controlled by someone else. Okay, I'm not saying like you're possessed or anything like that. Like, it's just your motivation is exterior to you. It's almost like you're not really focusing on what your passion is, but maybe it's passion from someone else. Maybe the success that you're dreaming about isn't even actually something that you want, but it's something that's being forced upon you, or something that you've assumed that someone else wants you to do. Okay? Detox, dandelion, and expansion. Yeah, detox. I think that's a very important card. Not only a physical detox, like on here we've got, the intestinal system might benefit you. There is a big connection between your gut microbiome and mental health and just overall health in general. So a detox may be something that you want to talk to your doctor about, or a nutritionist or a naturopath, something along that line. I am not a healthcare professional, so don't take my advice. I don't know your unique circumstances, but it might be helpful for you. But more so what I'm thinking is a mental detox. It's like when you are fighting, whatever, maybe you've got 6, 7 different ideas that you're like, I want to go this way, but I also want to do this and I want to do that. And because you've got all these things you want to go after, you're missing your opportunities. And again, it's this polarity that we see in the major arcana here of going that way and, unable to really balance yourself. So by doing like a mental detox and focusing on what it is that you want versus what someone else wants, you may be able to awaken this new passion within you, which is truly your own, which is truly balancing all this energy here, instead of feeling like you're being pulled in a feminine direction or a masculine direction or a black or a white or controlling versus controlled. It's when you're being pulled in all these different directions because you've got, maybe you came to this reading not even knowing how you define success. Maybe you don't know if you're here for a career reading or a health reading or a relationship reading. You're just here because you don't really know and you want some guidance as to where to go. That might be where your mental detox needs to begin. And it's about truly allowing yourself to clear your mind of all that different influence and see where you bloom, where you shine, okay? That fiery, passionate dancer there. It's, what makes you want to dance? What makes you want to, just embody love and passion and spirit? But it's also with this expansion card and the awakening, it's the blooming, it's the expansion of ideas and passion. So to really connect with what it is that you want and where you want to go in this life, it's about planting seeds. So maybe it's time to stop looking elsewhere. You know, we've got the cups here, he's going into the mountains, but really we could stop where we are and we could plant seeds for what it is that we truly want. The answers don't lie elsewhere. The answers lie within us. And no one can really tell you what it is that you want to do with your life. You have to understand who you are and where you want to go. People can help you along the way. People can give you hints and tips and tricks, but it's from their experience and from their perspective. And it's never going to truly align with you. Okay? Let's get your message. The elk. Stand tall and maintain your dignity no matter what, and others will treat you with the respect that you deserve. I feel like that's very much reminiscent of what I was saying, where you're being pulled in all these different directions, and it's almost like you are feeling perhaps disrespected, or you're feeling out of alignment because you're being pulled in all these different directions. But if you can maintain what they've called dignity, what I'm kind of referring to as your passion, if you can maintain what it is that you want, no matter what it is, it's what you want, not what someone else wants, what you want, then you will be able to stand tall and you will be able to maintain your dignity. It's not even about doing it and then they will respect you. It's about respecting yourself, and then standing tall and with dignity will just come because you are proud of yourself, because you have done what you want to do, and because you have followed through with something for yourself. Okay? Interesting card, because again, vision quest, it's like you don't really know what you're wanting to do. You need to go on this vision quest, whether it's out into the desert, out into nature, or whether it's just in quiet contemplation in your living room. Waterfall, effortless, and whale, breach. Those cards might not seem like they really go together. It's like a waterfall, which is effortless, and a whale breaching out of the water. That seems like it would be so hard, but it's what they were designed to do. It's what, it's just something that their bodies are capable of. They're built for it. They've got the strength to do it. And when you can align with what you want to do, it'll be like a whale just breaching out of the water. It's this fantastic show. People are like, wow, how do you do that? That looks so hard. But really, it's effortless for you because it's what you were meant to do. So it's about finding your little, cranny in the rock. A waterfall starts with just water going over and then eroding it and slowly making this big impact until you see this beautiful, amazing waterfall. But the water is just doing what it was meant to do. The water is just finding its way back to the ocean. And so it's about you finding your way back to your ocean, to your passion. But you need to be able to clear your mind and connect with you, and ignoring this pull in every direction. Finding your balance is going to be key. And look at that. We've got these scales for Libra, right as I say, finding your passion or your balance. So this is a new romantic cycle begins. This could be you talking about relationships, but it could also just be a new romantic cycle to yourself, a new connection with this passion, and truly connecting with yourself and allowing yourself to love yourself in a new and profound way that allows you to connect with this passion and connect with this new season so that you can plant the seeds for the future. Okay? So now, since a lot of people do equate success with money, I'm going to read you a little bit from this card from the Money and the Law of Attraction. It says, I can't tell stories of shortage and experience abundance. Continuing to tell stories of shortage only continues to contradict your desire for abundance, and you cannot have it both ways. You cannot focus upon unwanted and receive wanted. You cannot focus upon stories about money that make you feel uncomfortable and allow into your experience what makes you feel You cannot focus upon stories about money that make you feel uncomfortable and allow into your experience what makes you feel comfortable. A different story will bring different results. My thoughts are the basis for the attraction of all things that I consider to be good, which includes enough money and health for my comfort and joy. Again, it's talking about that balance. It's like you can't say, let's just use the dynamic of controlling versus being controlled. Okay? You can't say, I'm in control of my situation, and then be a yes man for everyone who crosses your path, you know? You can't say, you can say it, but is it going to benefit you? No, that's the point, right? You have to live in accordance with what you want. So if you want to be in control of your situation, then you need to take control. And we're not always going to be able to control every aspect of our life. You may dream of being the CEO of a company one day, but right now you're working a 9-to-5 job and you do have to, answer to a boss. That's fine. That's your current reality, but it doesn't mean that that's how you have to see yourself in your mind. You don't have to be complacent to that boss in your mind at all times, right? You leave your job, you go back to focusing on what it is that you want for the future and how you're going to exist in the future, okay? So now your last card is Solitude, alone but not lonely. Again, that interesting dynamic, alone but not lonely. It's almost like, sometimes you feel like you're lonely even when you're in a crowd of people. And then other times you may physically be alone, but you don't feel lonely because you have the passion of whatever it is that you're going after motivating you to move forward. Or you have the self-love to know that even though you're alone in the moment, you're never alone in this life. So again, it's this interesting balance, and I feel like your key to success to move forward will be focusing on this balance and creating a balance in your life that makes you feel like you are in alignment with your dreams. Okay? So that is the end of this reading. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, but also go over to GiftedSoul's channel and check out her collaboration with me for this topic. I would love to hear how the pile you choose from her reading correlates to the one that I just gave you. Let me know down in the comments below. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 3 in this Key to Success Pick a Card Tarot and Oracle reading. We're going to start with your tarot cards. So we have the Ace of Swords, the Temperance card, the Death card, the 3 of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords, and the 8 of Swords. First of all, you have this heavy weight on you for whatever it is that you are going after. It's almost like what is it, drowning in success? Is that a phrase? I don't know, I just heard that. It's like the weight of the world is pushing down on your shoulders, and you just don't know the next step. You don't know how to overcome this, right? And with the Eight of Swords, like, this is really feeling like you're stuck. But if you could shimmy free from these bonds, which are like, they're loose, they're not hard, they're not holding her there. And then if you could remove this blindfold, you'd see that there's many ways to get out of this trap between these swords. It's not really holding you back. But if you're blindfolded and you're tied up and you're just, you're told that you're surrounded by swords and there's no way out, then that's what you're going to believe until you are able to see differently for yourself. Whether this is literally see different by removing the blindfold, or whether it is spiritually or mentally see differently. With the Three of Pentacles here, this may be about a learning opportunity that is going to be coming to you, or this could also be you taking control of your situation and stepping up to be a mentor or a teacher for someone else. Depending on how you're defining your success, whether this is you needing to learn something, or whether if teaching your passion is a part of that. I'm not quite sure the dynamic yet on that, but I think a lot of it will come down to the confidence that we're seeing here. When you can remove this burden and step into a newfound confidence, then this is going to fall into place. And it's interesting that we have the Death card here, because it's really ultimately about rebirth. It's not about death. When something stops, or when one door closes, another one opens, right? And it's also, if you think about, say, a caterpillar, when a caterpillar dies, a butterfly's life begins. Is there even really a death there? It's just a metamorphosis, a transition, a transformation, right? So it's almost like being able to remove this blindfold, being able to remove this heavy burden from you is going to be this transformation into another phase of life. Whether this is a phase of getting more education, or whether this is a phase of stepping into your own power and being able to teach others and share your knowledge with others. We have the Temperance card, and it's interesting that she's almost straddling both these worlds. She's passing the water between the two cups. She's got one foot on the land, one foot in the water, and so it's almost like she's straddling. It's almost like you're right there. You're so close to this transition, to this transformation. And then so we have this Ace of Swords, and swords are about intellectual energy. It's about knowledge. So it's almost like there is a missing piece of the puzzle that once you find that piece, or once you're offered that piece, it's going to be so much easier to step out of this energy. And so I think a lot of this is not going to be putting up the resistance to this. It seems weird because it's like, okay, you've got 10 swords in your back. You're surrounded and burdened by swords. Do you really need more swords? Maybe not. And if we're looking at this intellectually, maybe you're overwhelmed with the information at hand. Maybe you feel like there's just too much information circling around your head and you don't even know where to begin. You don't know where to start. And that sword, that Ace of Swords, is just saying, start here. This is the one you need to start with. So find that one. Okay? We have show the world the real you. So what is the real you? What is these swords that are pressing down on you? These are the versions of yourself that you've put out to the world because you thought someone else would like it. This is you copying the modern fashion trends, even though you don't really feel like that's the definition of your style. This is you following the fad diet because everyone else is doing it, even though it's not really in alignment with the way that you want to feed your body. Or this is you going after a degree in school because your parents encourage you to go that way, even though you know the path you wanted to go on was a completely different one. This sword is the real you. This is connecting with the real you, with your higher self, and trusting that you are capable of making decisions that will benefit you. Yeah. High Priestess or High Priest. Responsibility. This is you taking responsibility for your actions. This Ten of Swords here, it's almost like, it's you're blaming all of these other people for putting these swords on you. But you accepted them, and now it's time to claim responsibility and show the world the real you. Okay? We have Homeland, which is foundation, and Familiar, which is guardian. So it's almost like you need to go back to the basics. And this really speaks well with this rebirth, with this transformation. You need to go back to the foundations and figure out who is the real you. Sometimes we have been so influenced by this external source, by people telling us, this is how you need to do things. This is where you need to go in life. This is, we all absorb so much information in every single day, in every single moment of life, and we don't even really realize that we're being sold to in so many different ways. And sometimes we need to go back, we need to protect our energies from those outside sources and be like, you know what, this is who I am, and I don't need to be sold some other version in order for other people to like me. I don't need to be sold some other version to have someone else's version of success. I know what I want, and I can create those foundations for myself. Healing and communication. Yeah. Healing your relationship with yourself, communicating with yourself, communicating with your higher self. This could involve some shadow work to be able to overcome what these burdens or these opinions or whatever it is that you want to call them. Healing what other people have told you about yourself, and letting go of that mask that you wear. Taking responsibility for your life by living your life, okay? Again, this is going to come in the form of healing, communication. Communication, I'm really feeling more towards like communicating with your higher self, or even from your subconscious to your conscious mind. Something like scripting, like stream of conscious journaling, may really help you move forward and may help you see what some of these blocks are, what this burden is, what's holding you back. Okay, communication is key for you, okay? With the eagle adding to this story, it's almost, sorry, that's communion. But it's literally like with this eagle, it's like being able to see it from a bigger perspective. And with the movement card, it is, like taking this and moving forward. Okay? It's not about feeling stagnant in this energy. You might not be able to just push it all away at once, but it's about taking each little healing step and moving forward and just keep going and being able to see the bigger picture about where you want to go. You might not know which direction the river is leading you, but eventually you'll get to the ocean. Eventually you'll get to your dream. Okay? But again, you have to know what that dream is in order to get there. And I mean, we don't have to know each and every single little detail, but what's the general idea? What's the general direction that you want to go in? Okay, we have the humpback whale. Music is essential to your healing and well-being, whether singing, playing instrument, or listening. I'll put this over here with the healing card. This could also be listening to like 528 hertz music, looking at how different types of music make you feel, and really using that music for healing, but also for inspiration. Sometimes when we're listening to certain kinds of music, we really feel amped up and positive and ready to go. And so maybe, you know, what kind of music makes you feel like that? Okay, and that also is in line with communication. So now I'm going to read this card, which is from Money and the Law of Attraction. And the reason I picked these cards is because a lot of people equate success with money. If this card doesn't apply, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. So, though actually now that I've read the first line, I think it'll be very applicable. It says, we are each responsible for the thoughts we think. When you are in alignment with who you really are, you cannot help but uplift those with whom you come in contact. Your value to those around you hinges upon only one thing, your personal alignment with Source. And the only thing you have to give to another is the example of that alignment, which others may observe, then desire, and then work to achieve. But you cannot give it to them. Everyone is responsible for the thoughts they think and the things they choose as their objects of attention. Okay. Remember here how I was conflicted as to whether you were the student or whether you're the master? It's really neither. It's the shared responsibility of acting in a way that encourages and motivates others, even if you're not intentionally trying to teach them anything. Be the person who you want to be. Be the person that inspires others. Be the person that inspires you. Show the world the real you. Connect with that intention. And be this high priestess or high priest, this empowering, badass kind of person, right? Be the person who inspires you, because the best person to look for inspiration is from yourself. Okay? And then the last card in your reading is Epoch. Pause in your journey. I feel like that card is the pause is what is holding you back from this transformation. It's almost like you need to pause, reflect on the situation, reflect on straddling this world before you can make the leap into the success that you desire. You need to be able to heal from the current situation before you can make that step. So pause. It's not about rushing. It's not about getting to success tomorrow. Heal, focus on you now, and it's amazing how quickly tomorrow will come, how quickly that success will come. Okay? So that is your message if you picked this third pile in the Key to Success Tarot and Oracle reading. Again, this is a collaboration with GiftedSoul, so if you want to see what she has to add to this subject, please head on over to her channel. I will have it linked down below. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye.